That Sober Guy podcast contains adult content, merciless truth, and emotional nudity. Listener discretion is advised.
I'm Shane Ramer. You're listening to That Sober Guy podcast, and we help people stay sober. If it's your first time listening, welcome. I'm so glad that you're here today. If you're looking for ways to quit drinking, you can go to thatsoberguy.com. Check out all of our resources there, as well as more podcasts. Also, be sure to follow us on Instagram at That Sober Guy Podcast. All the links from today's show will be in the show notes. One thing I'd love for you to do is join our Victory Circle men's community. It's an awesome spot for you to join in, connect with other like-minded individuals trying to stay sober from alcohol and be better fathers, leaders, husbands, entrepreneurs. You can find it at thatsoberguy.com once again, as well as all the other resources like I already said. Happy Thanksgiving. It's right here. And today we're going to be talking about our Sober Thanksgiving Survival Guide. Oh yeah, what the heck is that? Well, it's just what it says it is, man. So you don't go crazy getting a huge blowout maybe with one of your family members or some people at the party, at the Thanksgiving holiday party or your work party or whatever it is. So you can stay in your right mind, man, and know what the heck to do if you're trying to cut alcohol out during the holidays, which can be one of the most difficult times to do so. Obviously, drinking alcohol, a big part of the holidays for many, many, many people out there. And so I thought, let's do a little Sober Thanksgiving Survival Guide. Keep it short and sweet, how to navigate the holiday season without alcohol. And let's go through some of these tips and see how they might be helpful. And one thing I want to mention first is some of this may be repetitive, especially if you're a longtime listener of the show. You may have heard me talk about many of these things we're going to go over again. And I understand repetitiveness can sometimes be boring. And I'm well aware of that. And I even have to check myself sometimes because I go, oh man, I already talked about that. We've done shows on this and that and the other and holidays and whatever. But I have to remember, and you should remember too, number one, this could be the very first time somebody's listening to these tips or how to stay sober through the holidays. This is their very first time, and we want to give them the best possible support in that. And so, yes, some of these things are repetitive, but they're very foundational and they help. I know they helped me. I know they've helped a lot of other people out there. So we're going to talk about them again. At the same time, practice makes perfect, man. Practice is what we want. Repetitiveness leads to good habits. So even if you've heard this stuff before and you're going, oh man, I heard that one, man, put a new twist on it. Practice it again. Put it into effect again. If you haven't tried a gratitude list in a while, or you haven't tried putting together a holiday plan to help keep you sober-minded and in good spirits and positive and being able to deal with difficult friends or coworkers or family members. Like all of these things are very foundational, in practice, like I said, leads to, I don't want to say perfection. I don't really like that saying. It's practice makes perfect. We're not trying to be perfect. None of us are perfect. I'm not perfect. You're not perfect. If you think you're perfect, congratulations. I'm not. And I would probably bet most of us would say the same thing. I am striving for excellence though. I'm striving to be great. I'm striving to be the best version of myself that I can be in the aspect of leading my family and being a friend, being someone who is serving different people, and man, just trying to have a great time and enjoy the time through the holidays. This is my 43rd Thanksgiving that I'll be celebrating, and I want to have a great time. And we're actually hosting this year, which is going to be fun. So this will be Jess and I's first time in the kitchen together, getting after it, having some holiday fun, making a bunch of food, having some friends over. It's going to be a really good time, and I'm looking forward to it. So I hope you're looking forward to it too. And if you're worried about staying sober, that's why you're listening to this today. And we're going to dive into this Sober Thanksgiving Survival Guide right now. And hopefully you'll take away some of these tips and create kind of your own plan as you go into Thanksgiving, as you go into Christmas. You can take these, like, even though it's Thanksgiving, we're talking about that in particular holiday, or that particular holiday for this one. You can take these same tips and apply them to any time. It doesn't necessarily even have to be a holiday. Take them to any function, any event that you see fit, and use these same foundational tools to help you through the process of staying alcohol free. All right. So why does this matter? Why does environment matter? What is environment, right? Where are you going to be? What does that look like? Who's going to be there? Environment is a really big thing. And that's why I wanted to start with that. The environment you're in, the place you're at could be, it could be a place that triggers you as maybe it's old people, places, things. We've heard that before. I've talked about it before. That could be a difficult spot. So how do you choose where you're going to go? If it's, ideally we want to spend our holidays, our Thanksgiving with family, with friends, who also are supportive and they care about you, and they're going to support you saying, I'm choosing to not drink, this holiday. You want to try to be around those people. You want to try to be at those events, or Thanksgiving dinner, I guess, in this case would be, what we'd actually be doing, sitting down, hanging out. You want to have people that support you, plain and simple. You don't want to be somewhere where people are going to be trying to encourage you and talk crap to you if you're not drinking, in that whole party atmosphere. And that can be difficult sometimes because we have people that we love and we care about that are still, they party down like that. So how do we kind of navigate that? We're going to get into that part of it as well. But I want you to think about your first choice, trying to be in a space, in a place, at a Thanksgiving dinner with the people that you love and the people that support you the most. Another option, let's say maybe you don't have family nearby. Maybe your friends, you don't want to hang out with them. Maybe you're trying to make new friends and try to get away from old people, places, and things. You can consider, there's usually marathon meetings going all through the holidays. And what that is there's a meeting every hour on the hour, and you can find these all over the place in your community. You can find them online. A lot of churches also offer functions, Thanksgiving dinners with, maybe a men's group has a Thanksgiving dinner. Maybe there's specific functions around Thanksgiving, around holidays that you can find in meetups. So that's another option for you if you don't necessarily have family or friends that you can or want to hang out with. Another very important thing, setting boundaries wherever you're going. Like, set boundaries early. It's okay to let the person know that, you're coming in, hey, just a heads up, I'm not going to be drinking this time. And whatever that looks like, I'm just choosing to take a little break for the holidays. We're going to talk about responses here in a minute too, but it's okay to let them know ahead of time what you're getting, what to expect if this would be a normal thing, that you're normally drinking. It's like, oh man, he's not this time. Like, it's okay to let them know. We talk about exit strategy a lot. What is your exit strategy? Do you need to do the Houdini? The disappearing act? You might have to at some point if you're feeling pressured or you're feeling overwhelmed, you have some anxiety, or you're really feeling like that urge, like, dang, I really think I want to drink something right now. Maybe you need to bounce out and leave. So what does that exit strategy look like if you start feeling a little bit weird? Have that planned out too. And you can do all of this. Take a piece of paper and a pen, open up the notes on your phone. You can write this down and have a plan ready. And that's one thing I would highly, highly recommend. Okay, so let's talk about, I talked about this already, but your response to people who could potentially offer up some drinks to you, offer up a shot, to celebrate or whatever that might look like. You already know alcohol is going to be there. You already know there's going to be people drinking. If, depending on where you're going, that's a possibility in most cases, unless maybe you're going to one of the 12-step meetings or groups or something like that. And if you can find a spot where nobody's drinking, the 12-step, or maybe it's a sober Thanksgiving. I know a lot of people do those too. That is awesome. Then you don't have to worry about this, but we're going to kind of play out that you're going into an environment where there's going to be people drinking. So how do you kind of deal with that? How do you refrain and still have a good time too, which is super important. So you have to plan those responses in advance. So what does that look like? And I would say, number one, keep them really simple and keep them short. It doesn't have to be a big, long, drawn out thing unless you want it to be. If you really want to explain yourself, hey, that's up to you. But I would say keep it short, keep it nice and simple, keep it polite. For me, it's usually just like, I'm good right now. Thanks, man. I appreciate it. That's literally it. I'm good. Thank you. Appreciate the offer. Rarely do I have to go explain further than that. Most people are, okay, cool. They don't really care because they just want to do their thing too. If you feel like you have to have a reason, maybe it's a health reason. I'm good. Thank you. I'm trying to just kind of cut back a little bit for the holidays and take a little break, man. Or I'm working on this new workout routine and I'm trying to cut, some carbs and some sugar. And I just want to cut down and I'm, not drinking for actually the rest of the year or for the rest of the month, because I'm trying to pay attention to that, like whatever that looks like for you, or, oh no, I'm good. I already have my drink right here. This is my, my Pellegrino and cranberry, man. This is my go-to for the holidays this season, man. I'm taking a little break. Just something simple that isn't going to overwhelm you trying to explain it. And that's going to be real quick and then change the subject and move on to the next thing. And if you feel comfortable, you want to share more, like I said, feel free, do that. But you have to understand that most of the time people don't really care. They just want a drink in person or maybe they just want to be polite and they're just offering you a drink. It's not even personal to you. Like definitely don't be one of the people, if someone offers you a drink and they obviously don't know, you can't get mad at them for that. Like that's not a way to be either. No, do I want to drink? No, I don't drink. Like I've seen people do that and there's nothing more I feel embarrassed for them, number one. And number two, like it's like that's not going to encourage anybody else. Like we hear attraction rather than promotion. They're going to go, oh God, that guy's a dick. He doesn't drink, like, because it's not nice. And then that's definitely, if somebody's considering like, man, maybe I should give up drinking too. They're going to look at that person and they're going to be like, yeah, I'm not doing that. He's a jerk, man. I don't want to be like that, versus like super cool and respectful and polite, and like, oh man, how does he do that? Like you see the difference there. Like it's huge, like we're a walking, talking example for other people on who could potentially ask you like, why, or how do you do that? Or I'd like to do that too. Like, so think about that, put that into your thoughts as like being of service also. Like that's a good way to look at it to kind of help. How do you handle peer pressure though? Like, how do you avoid like awkwardness and how do you stay confident in that? If maybe you have that one cousin who's freaking still nuts, man, and loves to party and you guys used to party together and, what's his name? Let's call him Carl. Cousin Carl wants to get gnarly for Thanksgiving. How do you handle cousin Carl? Well, number one, I'm going to say I might try to avoid Carl altogether if I can, but that might not be an option. Let's say that's not an option in this. And you're just going to have to be straight up with cousin Carl. And you're going to have to let him know, like, I'm not drinking this holiday, bro. And, hey, if that's a problem, for you, then I don't know what to tell you, but I'm staying to it. And if he starts, giving you shit or whatever, you're going to have to learn how to not take it personal and understand that it's going to be hilarious when Carl gets hammered and says something stupid and feels like dog shit the next day. And then you can laugh and make fun back at him when he does that. So it'll come around, don't worry. But you know what I'm saying, right? You might have to do that. And the best way to approach this is to be right up front, in my opinion. If you have to deal with somebody like that, be as upfront as possible and tell them no with confidence right out the gate. Always be polite. If it starts giving you shit, if it starts getting annoying, you might have to go back to some of those first things. You might have to leave. You might have to make some adjustments to how long you're there. I mean, there's different ways you can kind of approach it, but have a plan. That's the most important thing, I think, with all of this is expecting these situations and knowing what you're getting into ahead of time. So you know how to deal with cousin Carl who wants to party and hang out. Try to stay, try to keep your distance. Try to, not fall into that same routine. And then the boundaries thing, we talked about that, and that goes the same thing with, your people. Like, what do those boundaries look like? Explain to them why, we already talked about that. Like, why you're not, if you feel the need to explain, you can do that. Let's see, I'm kind of going through some of these notes here, and we already talked about boundaries. So we're going to kind of gloss over some of that and go to the next one here, focusing on new traditions, right? We need to shift the focus. Like, whereas a lot of holidays before they become all about drinking, we forget it's even the holidays sometimes because we're so focused on drinking. What are some other things that you can do that don't revolve around alcohol? Maybe Thanksgiving morning, you can go on a hike. Maybe you can go play football at the park, get a bunch of people together, get a little tackle or flag football game going on. Do new traditions, do a board game, everyone go around the table and say something they're grateful for. I know that's kind of cliche and classic, but it is kind of fun. Being in important and meaningful conversations as well. Like, that's something to focus on at the same time that will help in those moments when maybe you're feeling, a little weak, or you're like, oh man, dude, like the opportunity to sit and to conversate with the people that you love and that you haven't seen in a while, maybe, and have meaningful convos versus drunk convos that you're not going to remember and that are stupid anyway. Like, that's important and it's fun. It's being in the moment. So those are good ideas as well. And then I would say too, like, take some time for yourself. Like, wake up, Thanksgiving morning or Christmas morning or New Year's Day, and like take an hour and pray, meditate a little bit, go on a walk, sit outside and get some air, fresh air, put your phone away, take some me time, some you time, and really feel emotion and sit and be silent even for a moment. That's going to be huge. Write a little bit. If you got a journal, write about, how you expect the holidays to be, or what your new year looks like, or whatever that looks like. I would highly recommend a walk even too. I know I said that, but that's a great way to kind of start the day, or maybe after dinner, when you're all full and fat and feeling kind of shitty because you ate too much, like, go on a nice walk, grab one of the family members or friends that, you want to spend some time with, or a group, and you guys all go on a walk together. That's something that's fun too. What about emotional triggers? Like, how do different family dynamics, different friend dynamics, like past experiences, sometimes those can be triggers. Those people can be triggers. Those emotional situations can be triggers. Old things come up. Like, how do you kind of manage that? And I think managing that, the way you do that is being spiritually fit as you're going into those situations. And how do you become spiritually fit? Well, you practice. It's not about being perfect. It's about practicing this stuff, even when it's not the holidays. So, couple of things: staying mindful in your emotions. Think about responding versus reacting. When we react to stuff, we're usually irrational or emotional. And a lot of the times, I know for me, I don't have a good reaction when I'm in that state of mind, versus when I can sit back, when I can think, and when I can pause and I can take a breath and I can take some time. I don't have to make a decision immediately. Like, I'll give you an example of this, right? Let's say you get a text and, I don't know, it's a decision you have to make in the text, right? And you feel like, and it's pressure. Like, we need you to come, and you have to come to, this dinner, and, so-and-so is going to be here. We need you to bring this. We need you to bring that. We need you here. We hope you're here. And let's say it's maybe a place that you don't necessarily want to go. You feel like you should go because there are a couple people there that you care about and you want to see, but there's also some people that could be, a mess and really bring up some old stuff. Man, how do you deal with that? Here's what I want you to think about in this. You don't have to immediately react to that text that you got and then make a irrational reaction and send a text back immediately and say, well, I don't know if I can make it. And like, you don't have to do all that. It's a bunch of drama that's not needed. Pause for a minute, take a walk, sit, think, feel. Am I spiritually fit? How should I respond to this? Oh, you know what? Let me call Buddy real quick and see what Buddy thinks. Call somebody that you trust, that you care about, that's going to give you some solid counsel. Man, how should I handle this? Pray about it a little bit. Then respond, even if it's the next day, if it's not something super urgent that they need to know that night, like maybe you need to take a day before you respond so you can respond accordingly. That is how we handle emotion. That's how we handle situations that are difficult. We make rational decisions versus irrational ones. And that takes practice. It's hard to do. But I just want to bring that up because you don't have to immediately react to something if it pisses you off. Same thing in the moment. Something pisses you off. Somebody says something. Somebody's annoying. Get up and take a break. Take a walk. Go make a phone call. Go sit out back. Remove yourself from the situation without being an ass and giving dirty looks or snarky comments. Or as much as that feels good at the time, I promise you it's just hurting your soul and your spirit and robbing you of your joy. And that's when you allow other people in your space, in your headspace, in your, they're taking up that space in your brain, in your spirit, and you're allowing them to piss you off. It's actually not them, it's you. You're allowing them to happen versus having some control, some self-control over self, over emotion, over all of it. And this stuff comes with practice. I'm not, I've said it 10 times already. I feel like practice, but it's so important, and then what is your why? This is a great one too. What is your why? Why are you there? Do you have a reason to be there? Good reason? Well, yeah, family, friends, Thanksgiving, getting together, holidays. Of course I got a good reason to be there. Okay. What's your why now? Now that you've established your why for being there, what's your why that you're not drinking? You're giving up alcohol. What is your why there? Why are you doing this? Are you doing it for your health? Are you doing it because, you want to prove to yourself you can? Are you doing it because you think you have an issue? Are you doing it to, be a better father? You want to see what life is like without it? Whatever your why is, and it can be multiple whys, like carve that out before, write that out before. Think about that. Set an alert on your phone and it pops up halfway through the night, that says my why is, and have that alarm go off and remind you. See, these are the little tricks and these are the little things that actually work. As dumb as they seem sometimes, they work because they're resets in your brain. And they go, oh yeah, I'm not trapped in this world. I'm not trapped in this little Thanksgiving bubble right now. There's something bigger. There's something more. This is just one moment in time that I'm here right now. And how do I want to remember this moment? Do I want to remember this moment that I handled it well and that I was in control of my emotions and my thoughts and my feelings and that I was being of service and being, pleasant to be around with my other people and I'm being a good example the best I can? Or do I want to be a complete emotional wreck because I can't drink and, I'm not using any of the tools and I'm just trying to be, they call it a dry drunk where you're just like, white knuckling it is another term. Like that's up to you. That's nobody can make you feel a certain way. That's up to you to choose how you respond to any environment, person, place, thing, and one of the best ways to do it is number one, if you feel like it's going to be too crazy, then just don't go. I know that sucks sometimes, but I can remember plenty of situations where I just didn't go to stuff the first couple of years because it was just too much and I didn't want to deal with it. And that's okay. That is okay. Let's talk a little bit about support system and then we'll wrap this up. I was trying to get this done in under 30 minutes today. So what does that support system look like? Who can you call? Who can you stay connected to? Do you have a friend? Do you have a coach? Do you have a group, a men's group? Do you have a sober group? What does that look like? Have your phone numbers ready. Let people know ahead of time. Hey, I might need to call you and check in. For anyone listening out there that you got my number, okay, and that we talk outside of the podcast space and all that. I know I do have some friends, out there that listen to this. Like you can call me anytime. Like, I will be your support person during the holidays. If you need it, hit me up. Like 100%. And if I don't know you, like, who's your person? Like, find somebody that you need. That you trust. If you need to call them, that you can, and you can reach out. You can shoot a text. You can shoot a phone call. Hey man, I just want to let you know that I got to go to, to my aunt and uncle's this weekend. There's going to be some family there I haven't seen in a while. And my other buddy from college or from high school is coming. Haven't seen him in a while. And I'm not sure how it's going to go down, but I might need to hit you up. I might need to check out for a minute, take a walk, and I may give you a call. Like, that is okay to do. Set that up ahead of time and then have a couple people ready, and then also talk about this stuff before, like, communicate about this stuff. If you are not in our Victory Circle free men's community, like, go to thatsoberguy.com and join right now. And then there's a bunch of dudes in there that you can post. You can make a post. Hey, you can share what, I'm about to go here for Thanksgiving or for the holidays or this or that or whatever coming up. Talk about that in there. You'll get feedback. I'm in there too. I'm giving, my experience and sharing stuff and asking questions just like everybody else. And we all kind of help each other. So that's a great spot to go if you don't have any group or anywhere to go at the moment. Maybe that's a good bridge for you to get started in somewhere to get some support, I guess is what I'm getting at there. So that support system is huge, definitely huge. You have to have some people around you that you trust and, that can give you some assistance and listen and be there for you to support you through this time. So this could be a great holiday or it could be a terrible one. It's up to you. It's your choice. How do you choose to navigate the whole situation? Good stuff, man. Under 30 minutes, 27. Yeah, I'm at 27 minutes. Okay. All right. Now I met my goal. I kind of went through some of it fast. I know, like I said, repetitive stuff sometimes, but this repetitive stuff, making these plans, man, is it's important. And okay, let me add this. I'll just kind of throw this in there as a final one. Man, have fun. Enjoy the time together. We get one Thanksgiving a year. You get one time, maybe you see some of this family, even some of the ones that maybe are, they're not as compatible, as you'd like or whatever. Or maybe that's your friend or a coworker or whatever that looks like, or that's the whole environment itself. Man, try to go in and be of service. Try to go in and be helpful. Try to go in with a positive attitude and just have fun. Like, have fun. Like, this life is too short to waste, being pissed off all the time and being drunk all the time. And trying to, be somebody that we're not all the time. Like, that's exhausting. Just be yourself. Go in, enjoy it, give love, like, accept love yourself, enjoy the time together. And, man, if you need anything, if you have questions, comments, like I said, join the Sober Guy Victory Circle. It's a great spot to get started. Lots of dudes in there. We also have a bunch of other resources at thatsoberguy.com. So you can go there and find those. Follow us on Instagram at That Sober Guy Podcast. I hope something spoke to you today. The Sober Thanksgiving Survival Guide. Have a plan. Follow through with it. Write it out. Get ready and have some fun. Appreciate you tuning in today. Until next time, keep your blood clean.